السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. صلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, we will continue from the 24th word, 5th branch, and first fruits. We are in the last paragraph, but it's a very heavy paragraph. It's loaded, so we try to learn as much as possible. So can you read something until I stop you?
Okay.
And start attacking. Okay.
All right. So, anyway, your intense love for yourself and your soul is love for the divine essence, which you misuse and spend on your own self.
Okay. This is the first sentence, and with lots of things. First, he said you shouldn't love yourself. Now he says something positive. Do you think the author is changing his mind or what? What's happening? Do you get it? So he says your intense love for yourself and your soul is, in fact, we add this one, for the divine, is love for the divine essence. It's very dangerous, eh? Divine essence and yourself is equated here. What does it mean? It's very dangerous. Am I divine? No. Why do we think that the author is suggesting your love, intense love for yourself is in fact love for the divine essence? First, we don't know the divine essence, right? We don't know the divine essence.
So why would you use that word, essence, if you don't know the divine essence?
We don't know. Why did I use this? Because we cannot know the essence of anything, anyways. But divine essence here is used from our perspective that such an essence exists or must exist. From our perspective. Yeah, this class is a training. That's why we have to go back. We have to revise always our fundamental principles of thinking. Such an essence, we know that this universe must have a creator. Then this creator is not an obscure thing at all, because it is not the same, it should not have the same nature as this universe. So for me, it must be beyond my perception. Its existence must be beyond my perception. But it doesn't mean that I cannot comprehend his existence or its existence. We have to make the distinction. It doesn't mean that I cannot comprehend his or its existence, but I cannot comprehend his essence. But this sentence is very interesting sentence. This sentence is hinting that is hinting that you can have an idea. It is a very controversial subject in Islamic theology. So we have to be very careful to be on the right side. Huh? So it has loads of other considerations. But what am I going to present here in a very summarized way? What, according to me, is the correct way of understanding this relationship, this matter, this subject. Many people, scholars argue about whether we know divine essence and who we are, and how can we relate to it. It's a very complicated subject. Some people went to the extreme on one side, to the extreme on another side. According to them, they are on the right side. Because no one can go into a wrong side knowingly and deliberately. This is the right, this is the right. So according to me, my understanding as a result of all readings of other people's ideas, I said, it must be this. Very simple. Put it in a very simple and non-technological or technical terms. Technical means theological terms. Now, so very simple. Do I know myself? Physically, yes. Psychologically, I cannot describe, but I am aware of. Right or wrong? I cannot describe, but I am aware of my psychological feelings and emotions, tendencies, everything. So I know that I do not consist of my physical body only, right? My existence has other elements in it which are not physical. I cannot show in the form of flesh and bone. But I am sure I have feelings. I am sure I have thinking, my ideas. I am sure I have inclinations. Many emotional elements I have. Right? Capacity is not limited to my body. So your soul, your self, doesn't mean your body. Forget about the body. Not because it is worthless, but if you are going to use yourself as a criterion to understand something else as compared to your being, which this something else is not the nature of this universe, the creator, use yourself as a criterion. Not exactly the same, but to have an idea about the essence of your creator by using your essence. But nothing to do with body. Your spirit, your soul. It means I would say rather than saying spirit, soul, etc., your human side, not animal side. So animal side is body, life, living body, like plants, like animals, living body, eating, drinking, breathing, sleeping, waking up, getting tired. Body-wise. Animals also get tired. Animals also sleep. Animals also eat and breathe and reproduce. They have also their family life, but I have something more. Some animals have their own something more side. Dogs have nothing to do with their physical body, but they have their capacities. Cats have their capacities. I don't know. Turtles have their feelings, they know how to hunt, they know how to, and it's very important.
I'm just gonna get them from downstairs.
I see, okay.
The elevator straight forward. So just,
Yeah, no. From the elevator.
right, I mean, do I have to do anything special or just?
No, just go, but don't close the door downstairs. Close the door of the elevator downstairs, so you cannot get it. Thank you.
Turtles or something.
Now, even these insects, they defend, etc. But at least they don't have this human capacity or what we feel that we have something. We are not cats, we are not dogs, we don't know what they feel. It's not our duty to know how they feel, whether they have human intelligence or not. None of my business, because I'm not them. I don't know. But what I know myself. I know myself. So use your feelings, your human side, and find out the qualities in your human side. Although these qualities are not perfect, are not complete, for example, you see, and you analyze what you see. But what you see is limited. Your analysis of the seeing is limited, very limited. And you think and learn something new. Your thinking is limited, your learning is limited. Yeah, you don't learn everything at once. But you know that such thing can exist. Okay, come here or here, wherever you want, yeah? So people can get closer. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Seeing is limited.
Now we are discussing a very serious subject, very serious, but making it as simple as possible as far as I understand. Let's settle down now. Let's concentrate. You know that we have some human qualities, although they are limited, but as if they are indicators of the qualities of my maker, right? But not in the complete form, only pointing to the existence of those qualities. So I will reason later on that I have these qualities and other human beings have these qualities. They have been having these qualities and these qualities are manifested in the universe as well. So my creator's quality should not be like mine. Mine is limited. Mine is given. He is the source. It is the source, and it must be ever existing one. Why? Because the universe has been renewed, has been renewing in its existence, and the source is being continuously and simultaneously manifesting his qualities at the same time. Creating you with your eyes, creating him with his eyes, creating her with his eyes. Do you understand? And the past generations also have been created, and at the same time, hundreds of thousands of people have been brought into creation, and they are given with the same qualities. The animals are given the same qualities. The universe is a witness that its creator must see what he's doing. And it is continuous to renew it. What do you say? What do you conclude as a human being? Yes, my creator must have a power to see. He is the source of it, but I cannot describe its nature, but I can comfortably conclude that it is not limited. It is manifesting at the same time in billions of different ways.
Just, when you say you conclude it's not limited,
Sorry?
when you say you can conclude that it's not limited,
Should not be limited.
well, limited from your point of view.
Yes. So if I'm responsible from my point of view.
Yeah.
So I cannot say that it is limited because the manifestation shows that at the same time, everywhere taking place, if it was limited, would come to an end at a certain point. But as far as I can experience it, I see no such thing.
But how do you know it won't come to an end?
Sorry?
How do you know? How can you
No,
conclude
the
it?
one event is enough for me because the one event shows that this event, that's the point we should always keep in mind. The creation of one event shows that it has been created by the one who gave existence to the whole universe because it is put in harmony with it in a perfect position. So if someone was not able to give existence to the universe, cannot give existence to one thing in this universe because it has a universal connection happening at the same time, renewed at the same time. How can you say that a limited thing is operating at the same time, renewing it, the things at the same time with no crack, no time, taking no time? It is impossible. So my conclusion is, if I cannot get to the end, I have no right to say that it may have a limit. No, because it is beyond the limits of this universe. It is the source of existence of this universe, and the universe is manifesting. I cannot say that it is limited.
So my question is that you are obviously you're talking from your point of view,
Of course.
right? When you say it's unlimited from your point of view, but you can't conclude that it is unlimited.
No.
You can't conclude that it's unlimited in its totality
Yeah, I
in
can.
that. How?
Because what does
say
it
you
mean?
Say you live in a three-dimensional world, for example. For you,
No,
those are your limits, right? If something else, say, can live in 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions,
you cannot imagine.
to you, it's unlimited, but it's still limited because it's
No.
not those 4 or 5.
No, it is not to be defined within the conditions of this universe means unlimited for me.
I know.
That's
it.
it.
From us, but
That's
it's
it.
like you can't conclude that it's unlimited.
No, because my
Absolutely.
understanding of unlimitedness is within the power of my created nature. Because I cannot comprehend something beyond the power of my comprehension.
That's why we say.
So that's what it means for me.
I understand that. When you say that whoever created this universe is unlimited, it's unlimited from my perspective. It's unlimited with regards to this
Yeah.
universe.
That's my
But you
conclusion.
can't conclude that it's unlimited to another alternate reality.
Okay,
beyond my
listen to here. Hey, forget about the others. It's a very important point. Forget about the others. Concentrate. Because you're already late and you cannot comprehend what's going on.
Like,
Yeah.
for example, the creator in one specifically says that he cannot do injustice. So that's a limitation, right?
No,
That's
for
fair.
me, I cannot imagine that it can be limited. Because the creation is manifesting that the source first. The source manifesting itself as far as my capacity. I cannot speak beyond my capacity. As far as my capacity is concerned, the universe, the existence of the universe demonstrates that everything is taking place at the same time, with no difference between big and small, complicated and simple. No difference. And no time limitation, nothing, everything. Oh, it's interesting to see somebody here. Okay, no time limitations in taking place. No exceptions I can see that there's a crack in the creation. No, something, that was the limit of the source. There is no sign. Everything is perfect. I have to say, within my own capacity, the source of existence of this universe should have, according to my conclusion, no limit. When the scripture says, I am absolute, limitless, it means I have no dependency at all. I don't need anything at all. I am needless. It means I'm self-sufficient. When the scripture, it means all human beings, you should understand and conclude this within your own capacity.
Right.
You can do that.
So let me ask a follow-up question. If the creator of this universe is needless, is dependent.
Your conclusion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
independent of everything.
According to me, it is independent.
Right. So then also, I mean, there's something that doesn't make sense to me. Why would the creator have the need to create?
So, what are you doing now?
I know I'm doing something wrong.
From your own perspective.
That's the point. I have a case there.
Let's
Yes, I am making a mistake of trying to look at it from the creator's perspective. I recognize that. But at the same time, there's this nagging voice in the back of my head that says, if the creator chose to create, then there must be a reason why the creator chose to create.
The question is for yourself, because you cannot go into the realm of an existence of such thing.
Right, but what we're trying to establish here is that you can look at the creation and try to extract meanings from it. So if in the creator is limitless, is needless, is independent,
According to me, according to my observation.
why the hell would he create me?
Oh, but no, just a minute. It's listen, first understand what's going on. They're just right. You're just right. So we have been discussing I told people who were here that we are going to discuss a very controversial subject. It has been the subject of a topic of a very hot dispute among the previous scholars. So what we are going to do is a very simplified version of the summary of these arguments, very simplified. So we conclude that it must be. That's what I understand. When I say limitless, that means I cannot describe him within the limitations of my capacity, within the limitations of this creation that I observe, I experience. That's what we have to understand. As soon as when I start thinking, going beyond the limits of my observation and my capacity, it is nothing but speculation. Nothing but speculation. So we shouldn't speculate. What we have to do is, we always repeat in these classes, we have to do is to concentrate from my perspective, come to a conclusion from my perspective, and say nothing in this universe can be qualified with the capacity to be the source of existence of anything in this universe. That means in the language of the scripture, La ilaha.
Okay, so my conclusion, by looking at the creation, is that there is a reason why the Creator created this creation.
That is your conception.
No, yeah, I mean, I can expect that because I know.
Yeah,
the Creator
that
is not
according to
created
you,
out of play, right? There's
but
gotta be
according
a
to
reason,
you. Yeah.
right? And I'm never going to know that reason
Which one?
why He created it.
But you cannot know.
I know. That's my point. So
But your
we're at
point
the
is,
we're at the point where
You are going in a black hole. It is pointless. You are responsible within your own conclusion, within your capacity. So you are saying that there must be a reason because as I observe the universe, I see that everything has a purpose in its creation, a reason of existence for them. They are demonstrating something. So I say the creator of this universe must have a reason. Do I know it? No. Do you know why this plant is created? Yes, I know from my perspective. You know, it is functioning in a wise way. It is demonstrating that its creator is wise. That's my conclusion. I don't know what the reason the creator had in and of itself. It's not my responsibility. That's why when it comes to description of the essence of the creator, we say only negations. Say it cannot have a limited power. It cannot have a limited knowledge, limited wisdom. Why? Look at the creation. Everything is taking place at the same time with no hesitation and with no difference. Human mind easily concludes that if someone concludes that according to something, if there is no difference between 1 and 1,000 equal, what is that? Only infinite. Entertainment. For example, let's say trillion times a trillion number. Imagine. So is everything equal to it? No. A number plus 1 is beyond its limit. That's human mind. And you can put a number plus 1 to it. But the only thing that human mind can comprehend, infinite. So you can, even you say plus 1 impossible, plus 1 to infinite is impossible. Because as human mind, we are responsible for our capacity. We have to conclude within our capacity. That's why we can argue and look for evidence for our conclusions about anything within the universe. For example, can this one be the source of existence of another one? Can something there, X, Y, Z, be source of existence of my such a human, any human knowledge? No, we can argue, we can take it to the lab, we can analyze it, but when the conclusion goes beyond the limits of the universe, saying that the source, the creator of this universe, I cannot bring it into my observation. I cannot make any statement about it. I cannot say anything. But what I only can say is the sentence that's a very, very important sentence about the quality of its existence. And describe the quality of its existence within my own perception. Do you understand? It means it cannot be within the limitations of this universe. That's my capacity. I can speak only within the limitations of my observation and my capacity, right? Let me complete. It is a very dangerous subject. So use your capacity. As an example, I can give you this to help. It's a very typical and a conventional example here. You see a piece of art. A piece of art. When you look at the piece of art, what you see, some qualities in it. That's why it's called piece of art. Yeah. Anything in this universe is a piece of art. So, for example, let's say, for the sake of argument and an analogy, see a piece of art made by a human being. You know that he made it in front of you. And you see the qualities of the artist has manifested on it. Then this artist makes another one. Another one. What you conclude, this artist's quality is beyond the limits of what it has produced, he or she has produced, because it is renewed, right? Going beyond the limitations of the manifested artwork, right? You say, I don't know where it is because it's a human being, a part of this universe. You cannot say it's absolute. But I cannot see the limits of this artist's quality. But I know that I cannot limit. Somebody may be downstairs. Possible. Hello? Are you listening? Yes. Yeah. Okay, there is somebody coming and pick you up from the elevator, just waiting from hospital. Okay, thank you. Now the person who asked the question has disappeared. So let's wait. So we haven't finished, but since we are waiting for the person to ask the question, so let's listen. Sorry?
I read something the other day, and it was a definition of reality.
So, excuse me, I don't know what's happening to me, but I cannot follow you.
Okay, I read something the other day, it was a definition of reality.
Definition of reality.
Reality. And the person said, it's according to one's perceived experience.
Okay.
So everybody could have a different reality. But through each other sharing our reality, we can broaden each other's.
Yeah, okay.
So when you're saying about limited, right? So how do you know it's limited? It has been constantly, perpetually regenerated for thousands of years. What we see in the past is that this has been happening. So that's a good case for the limitedness, because it's regenerating its own self in time. The plant, water, flowers, life.
Regenerating his own?
Huh?
Well,
No, I'm not referring it to, I'm just saying it of itself. I'm not attaching it to anything. I'm just saying that we have experienced perpetual regeneration in our lifetime.
This language is
and we know
correct.
this from history. As far as that's just.
No, that's all right.
the limit.
No, but the language is, the last
Okay.
language is correct.
It's what?
The last sentence is correct.
Right, well,
That we see that it is continuously renewed. Yeah, but we
so
cannot.
that's a case for the limitedness.
So
Who's outside.
that's it. We see that, okay. But how about the source We
Okay.
can only say,
I could get into that, but I'm just referring to that. See, sometimes a puzzle has many little pieces. So we're not gonna get the whole puzzle, but we come in with a little bit here and there, and the picture begins to reveal itself. So he says, well, why the hell was I born? Why the hell am I here? Why was I created? Hell with it, I don't know about that. But that's where, what is the meaning? When one has meaning, that leads to that question being, an answer being revealed through the thought. Now, where do we get meaning from? What are we looking for? Well, the sentence you said in the first thing, it reminds me of another class you guys. Allah is how I see Allah. In other words, whatever is in my capacity in my heart, He is how I see Him. This is pretty.
no, we have been very careful.
But I heard this in the class.
No, we have never said this. God only can be described from my perspective, according to my conclusion. We cannot use is, we must say, according to me, must be.
Okay, I left that out, but that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's
But
mostly
that's just, we have to learn the
I'm
language.
talking about the reality from my perceived experience.
Okay,
I started with that, so now we have to understand that.
okay.
So now how do we broaden our perception? Is through hearing each other and adding things in, never telling somebody this is the way it is, because that lends towards this very bad word that starts with an F, and it's not a four-letter word. So listen, fundamentally, if somebody's telling somebody else how it is, okay, there's basic precepts that are immutable, that cannot be changed. But what happens, what happens with us sharing, where, like you said, we're going in a black hole. Well, how do we stop from going in a black hole? Why do
It's
we
very
bring each
simple.
other into a black hole? Because we ourselves are in a black hole.
So, let's,
So let's get at it.
thank you. Let's continue from where we left off this example. So analogy, we cannot speak about the quality of the source if the source that I conclude is beyond the limitations of my observation. But I can say that this source must have this quality, not like the one according to the qualities that I can see in this universe. When the scripture describes the source of existence of this universe, it is a suggestion to me to confirm this conclusion through my observation of what I have been experiencing in this world. Get it? So we have to say the source must have such and such qualities through our own experience. What was the reason we discussed? We started this discussion. Today, the sentence says, your intense love for yourself is in fact not bad. It is in fact, this is the way how you should love the source of your qualities, which is the creator. So this must be a criterion within your own hand to understand the essence, divine essence of your creator by using your own human qualities. So that is why love for your qualities, human qualities, is given to you in order to understand and complete the essence of divine creator, your creator. So you are experiencing it within your own essence, human essence. We said this, we should never understand humanity in terms of physical terms. In physical terms, it's beyond dispute, but human terms, human qualities are the tools, criteria for us to understand the qualities of my creator. As I use the artwork as a criterion to understand the quality of the artist in my work here. So, because the difference between, that was an analogy. There was an artist, he demonstrated his art here, he did some artworks, and I said, by looking at the artwork, I concluded about the artist's quality, although I had no experience of the artist's quality in his own being. Do you understand? I don't know in your brain or that you are the artist. So in your brain or in your eye or in, I don't know, they say in your heart, or I have no idea. But there is no way for me to experience your quality within your being. But I am sure of the existence of the quality that you have. That is the mystery. Not mystery really. That is the thing that we have to understand. That's how we are qualified. That's how we are qualified to understand something beyond the reach of my power of perception. So this is a very simple example, but it demonstrates beautifully how about the universe. Now, from the artwork to the artist, it was an example for me. Analogy. How about the universe? The universe is an artwork. And if someone says, no, it is not an artwork, okay. Let him say. Okay. But I can't. That's one, number one. Two, this artwork must have an artist. It is preferred. Every time it is renewed, and in its renovation, the same qualities have been repeated, not exactly the same, in a new fashion. It's exciting, isn't it? So the artist of the universe must have a quality, capacity, cannot be described within the capacity of the artwork. Even the simple human artwork demonstrated it to me. So I can conclude about the source of existence of this universe by using my own essence. Do you get it? My own qualities. So I have no excuse not to, because it is with me. I don't, if someone said it is in Australia, I've never been there. No, it is within you. Even if you are blind, if you are deaf, you are responsible for within your own capacity that you have some senses. As much as you experience your human senses, one condition, you have to pay attention to yourself. You have to pay attention to yourself. Which kind of qualities do I have? So that through these qualities, I will understand the qualities of my maker. That's why love for yourself, it means for your human qualities, in fact, is to be used to acknowledge the essence of your creator. Acknowledge. That's why we are very sensitive about the language. We cannot say the creator is a man. Yes, Creator says, I am. That is his right. But it's not my right to say, no. When the Creator says, I am wise, I say, this sentence must be correct. Why? Because I also conclude through my observation that the artist of this work of universe, and me, must be wise. But I cannot see and put a limit to it. It's so simple. You may say, what is the complication of it? Yeah, that's so simple.
I doubt that
Use-
anybody disputes that.
Sorry?
I doubt that anybody here disputes that. Is there someone who disputes that?
Okay, it's very simple. Yeah. So what is the matter now? Just we have to know that we have to use it ourselves. We don't know that we have to use ourselves. Why? Again, I come to this point and emphasize it again and again. Why don't we use it? Why don't we really utilize ourselves in order to understand who must be my creator, my source of existence? Because we don't see it, this kind of activities as a part of religion.
Can you put a name on that?
No.
I would say, when we say love ourselves, that we may be able to understand the love of the Creator. Right? This is not an understanding. It doesn't say understanding to me as far as comprehension and reflection. It has to do with my heart.
No, it
It's a
is.
whole nother realm of being able to absorb something in a way that I'm more so moved than just my head. Because we throw around abstractions and ideas, and then we argue about those ideas or different opinions or experiences of reality. But then there's that other aspect which I don't think we're covering at all. And that's, when you say love, love doesn't say to me what I'm thinking. Love says to me that it's in me.
No, we are not describing love here. To be
But
patient
I'm
with
trying to
me,
put
please.
something else
No,
in
but-
it because I want something more to hold on to, because otherwise it's just,
He doesn't discuss
Intellectual
what you're saying,
abstraction.
he does.
Huh?
He does.
No, just a minute, just be patient with me, please, because we are going to follow a certain process of thinking, and we have to train ourselves in this through this certain trace of thinking and concluding. So be patient with me, because it's a training session, it is not a knowledge session. So we have to learn how to train ourselves. What is the reason that the very simple way of confirming what our station is, what our location is, or what our status is within the universe is very simple, very simple. Because we don't see that religion has something to do with it. Religion is always externalized. What does it mean? There are something people narrate, and we are expected to believe in them. Look, something that people tell you and come and tell you that, for example, a physicist, a chemist comes and tells me that, no, are you a chemist? No, you shut up. I have experienced in my lab, and as a result, I have concluded this. It must be so whether you accept it or not. Would you experience it? No, you can't, because you are not a chemist. You understand? That thing's happening in the culture. That is why we don't really use very simple way of confirming our belief system, because we think that somebody else will tell me and I will accept it or reject it. If I accept it, I am a believer or I am a member of a certain religious group. If I deny it, I'm not a member of this religion. I don't belong to this religion. It's a very simple way of presenting the religion in the culture, we are the children of this culture. We have to come back to ourselves and say that, look, religion first starts with realizing who I am, what I am in existence. Very simple. Very simple. And then I will try to explain the existence of the universe in terms of its creator. Its creator must be this, must be that, etc. My conclusions. These must be my conclusions. As a result, I must come to the conclusion that the creator must provide me a guidance to organize my life, to organize my thinking way, and this guidance must be in the form of a proposal. Proposal. It means, here you are, I am your creator, I created you. That is what the religious source says, the prophets say, or the scriptures say. You can confirm me, the source says. You can confirm me by using your human capacities. That's an invitation. Because of the nature of the God's guidance for me is an offer. An offer. As a suggestion. It doesn't force you, does it? No, I don't. I feel nothing that I'm living here, but I say I believe in God, the same word. I don't believe in God, the word goes on in the same way. But as I change my attitude, my feelings and my relationship with the rest of the world starts changing, according to me. So the creation says that because of you, nothing is happening, but everything because of the creator. Now you have to either adjust yourself to it or not. For example, here is the word, here is the door. If you want to go out of this room, take the door, shows it. But if you say, no, I'm going to take something else, you will find the result. Now, the guidance is like this. It doesn't force you. Yeah? So, religion must start from ourselves, from within ourselves. And then conclude, if you can conclude that, I have some questions and I am puzzled. If only if I had a teacher to teach me, to develop my already existing potentialities, it would be better. Do you feel that? Then you start saying that the creator of this universe must provide you this. That is another subject. But our today's subject is making the religion and your belief as central to yourself. From there, everything will develop. As central to yourself. You have to start from yourself. So don't run away from your reality and start from yourself. In fact, practically, what we do, we judge about everything through ourselves. But what after excluding the universe from myself, it means in externalizing the universe religion, not the externalizing religion. After externalizing religion, what we do, we start hearing people without using ourselves. What they say that that's the religion now tells you that, give an example from another tradition, Christian tradition, tells you that if you trust in Jesus, you will be saved. And Jesus is the Son of God. This kind of language. And you go home Does it make sense to me? Without realizing that you are judging through your own criterion. But seeing that religion is external to you and information came to you and you didn't start from yourself. And you say, it doesn't make sense really. Somebody will sacrifice himself and God will sacrifice his son for my sins. I cannot swallow that. Yeah, reject. And another person comes and says, no, we are Muslims, we believe in one God. Yeah, so there is no God but one God. So there are not three gods. Where is this God? He's absolute. You do not see it. It's external. Be careful. The information is offering something to you external. You say, if I don't see it, how can I do it? It's external. What can I do it? Because it is presented to you in this way. He asks you to pray 5 times a day. Why? Does he need that? But if he created to me, why does he need to give me something that you have to do this and that? But look, external knowledge. You use yourself to judge about external knowledge and reject that. That's what's going on. For example, people say, I'm not going to do this because they say in Islam, you have to do this. It doesn't make sense to me. Why? Yeah, it may not make sense to you because your starting point is wrong. So you didn't start from your own existence. You didn't start really analyzing everything from within yourself. And then feel the need. We always say that we should start analyzing the existence from our own self and then develop a view of the universe which should have at least 6 dimensions. This universe must have a creator. That's my conclusion. This universe and everything is bringing to me news, another dimension. Belief in angels. And the creator of this universe knows that I learn when I am taught. I go to school, so I need a teacher. Well, if there is a teacher and teaches me, I learn. But this is your up to now, 3-dimensional world. You could locate yourself in this world. Look for a teacher. Afterwards, somebody says, there is a teacher who's teaching this, taking this class. Teacher, the prophets, messengers, employed by the Creator, but you felt the need for it. You say, okay, let me see. If he is the teacher I expect, it means my Creator appointed. But my Creator, you see what I mean? Internal, personal conclusion. Then you can go and work with this teacher. Otherwise, if the teacher is imposed on you from outside, if you are a Muslim, you have to believe in Muhammad. Look, as the messenger of God, prophet of God, right? And he says you have to do this. You don't feel the need for a teacher. It is not from within. So you say, who's this guy? Yeah? Take him as one of the philosophers. Or sage people you hear. Not as a need of a belief in your Creator as being the teacher, as must be for you, that this Creator must appoint a teacher. Then, if you look for it, whatever it says, you have to take it into your human capacity, like you go to a school, yeah, and you say, I'm going to study biology. Yeah, I'm going to specialize in this subject. So a person says, because you need now, you decided you are going to study biology. I am a biologist and I'm going to teach you step 1, 2, 3, 4. What you do, you discover your capacity of learning biology within your own need through the teacher's teaching. What you do, you hear the teacher, you confirm. Because if the teacher tells you something which doesn't make sense to you, what do? Whether this person is not the right biology teacher, or I cannot understand, I cannot approve him. Yeah, but you don't know what to do. Somebody comes to you, you have not decided that you need a biology education, anything like this. Somebody comes and tells you that a biology expert said this and you have to do it. It is external to you. It is alien to you, strange. And you start saying comparisons, making comparisons. Because you don't feel the need for biology and education from yourself, because you don't want to train yourself step by step, according to your own expectations, according to your own need and feel. What you do, because you don't know anything about really biology, so you have not been educated. What is brought to you maybe high school or university school level of class. It doesn't make sense to me. Man, live it. It's a university class knowledge. But you haven't been through it, you don't understand because you are not prepared for it. So why we don't understand the very simple way, because of the presentation of religion to us, and our perception of religion is always external because of the culture. We have to make it internal and educate ourselves. How? If you prefer to be a solid person in your understanding, I have to start from the beginning. First, before going and registering with the school, say, what am I going to do in this world? I think I have to study biology. It is good for me. And with your own will, you have to go and register with a school where biology is taught. With your own will. Somebody, your father, your culture, your tradition registers you with the biology school. External. Right? External. And you go there, what am I going to do here? That one, my father or mother put me in. Yeah? You feel from the very beginning alien to religion, to biology, in the example. Do you understand? That's why some things don't make sense to us, because of the starting point is wrong. Yes.
But all of us, to a certain extent, have been conditioned to live. We've gone through life and been conditioned in that, oh yes, there's something called prophecy, there's something called messengers. Even if you are going to objectively think about it and say, do I really believe in prophethood? Do I really believe in messengership? And what does it mean to me? You already have preconceived notions that are making you ask that question. So in your example of enrolling into university, you already have this understanding that you have to go to university because you have to make a career, you have to make a living. So you're going to think about it. You're going to think about it on your own. You're going to say, do I want to go to this school? Do I want to go to that school? But you're already thinking that you have to go to school, right? Because you're already conditioned to think like that, because that's the way life is. Versus, for example, saying, I don't even have to go to school. I don't even have to go to university. I can just learn on my own. I'll just go out to the wild and learn biology on my own. That's another way of doing it. But maybe you're not going to think about it because no one taught you that's a possibility.
That's what we are doing here. So we have to emphasize that this is not the way that we should follow, because this way has a dead end. The time will, if it has not already come, it will soon come that everything is changing very rapidly.
The question is, how do you know that this is really your
Yeah.
choice versus baggage that you have from the past?
So that's what we have to speak, we have to say, we have to share, exchange, we have to remind, look, are you a Muslim? Why? We have to come from the beginning, my friend. My friend, we have to come from the beginning, not from the culture. We have to come from the beginning. That's what we have to remind each other. So, for example, where are you from? They say, I am from a certain country. So, you must be a Muslim, eh? Yes. And then you have to say, look, not because of this, that's my process. We have to change. You find yourself, for example, if this argument, it's a good argument, was valid, if I was born into, like this in Russia, very born Russia or here? Sorry? Russia.
No, that's.
Sorry, Russia. Yeah, so you were born in Russia. So most of the valid culture in Russia is atheism. Eh? Okay. She will say, okay, I found myself in this already existing culture. I'm under the influence of this culture. Can it be justified? It is equally should not be justified if a person was born into the very center of Islam, Mecca. I was born in Mecca. I am a Muslim. I am conditioned by it. I am under the influence of it. Every human being is created free, although within a certain condition, but at least we human beings are able to intellectually start the argument from the scratch. Let me say, okay, I will start from the beginning. Who am I? What am I? Forget about, I am a Muslim, I am a... No. We always say, at least 20 times in each class, start from your existence. And then the existence of other things. While you are under the influence of immediate culture, yes, but it's how we are created, how we are made. I didn't choose to be born in a certain country. You were not, have you chosen to be with your mom in a certain place? So that is external to you. But you are given the ability, each of us is given the ability to question by starting from his or her own existence. Oh, what is my existence for? What do I have this in my being, physical, non-physical? What does it mean for me? This is the way to start, if you like, to revive our human qualities and utilize them, not imitate anything. So, being under the influence of external culture, yes, I understand it is not deniable, but at the same time doesn't justify me using my human qualities to question my own existence. I have the very strong tendency towards it if only I want, I choose, I'm free. If I don't want to concentrate on my existence, no one can make me. So I can easily follow the external culture. It's easy, seems to be easy. Is it satisfactory? Never. Never. But if you take the easy way, what you do, you cheat yourself. That's my experience. Everybody will decide. You cheat yourself. My religion is the best. I'm satisfied with it. Why? It means I don't want to bother about it. Yeah? Who cares? I'm busy with my own choices. I want to get the best degree. I want to have the best profession. Who's going to think about anything? Come on. That's it. I was born in a Christian. I was born in an atheist. I was born in a Muslim. Everybody says I'm the best. It's easy. Let's start from the scratch. It means give priority to the meaning of your existence. And then, are you going to study biology? Are you going to study lawyer or law? Are you going to study, I don't know, sociology or philosophy or what? Then decide. First, who you are. We don't think we are. We don't really question our existence and jump into the culture of our environment and start identifying ourselves as being atheist, Christian, agnostic, or modernized, Muslim, or classical, or traditional, but the different names, Orthodox Christian, or Catholic Christian. I was raised as a Catholic Christian. That's you were raised, your parents. Who are you? Who are you? I am a Muslim because, I was born Muslim. My family was. What does it mean? Stupid. It's nothing to do with it. It's external. Who are you? What's your own conclusion? Don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat saying that my culture is the best, my culture is the best. You don't have the base for it. If you study the Quran seriously, from the very beginning of the revelation, Quran establishes the foundations of your existence. Establishes that. It means, hey, do you know where you are? Do you know what your feelings are for? Huh? Yeah, have you ever noticed what is going on around you? The creation, rather than your own culture. So keeps repeating, very simple. Don't follow your ancestors. It doesn't mean that your atheist ancestor, your Christian ancestor, your Muslim ancestor, your polytheist ancestor. No, don't follow your ancestors. Generally. Yeah? So if your parents come to you with an idea that makes sense to you, you don't have to obey them, disobey them. It means make your own decision. Make your own decision. It must be your own decision. It is very interesting to see in the Quran that there is no obedience of parents, contrary to the common knowledge among, especially the Muslims. But there is a command in the Quran, if what they suggest to you doesn't make sense to you, don't obey them. There's a command. There is no obey, but be kind to them. Yeah? Why should I? I should be kind to everybody. But I shouldn't obey. I shouldn't obey. I can only obey whom? If I am aware, my creator, and the teacher appointed by him. And his representatives of the teacher, representative of the teacher, not the kings. That's what makes sense. Now, this strong subject sentence is very simple in its essence, but at the same time, because it is not practiced, it is alien to us. It is strange to us that the love for myself is in fact to be used to know the essence of my Lord, my Creator. Yeah? It means here the language used the divine essence. Divine means the source of existence. The source of existence is divine. Because source of existence cannot be of the nature of this universe. It must be beyond. Divine means beyond this universe. Yeah, very simple. Do you understand that? Very simple. If it doesn't make sense at any stage, please tell me. Yeah. Very simple. For when you say divine, it doesn't mean we don't understand. Yeah? No. You understand that it is not within the limitations or the within this universe, the capacity of this universe is beyond your perception. But you can understand there must be such thing. Must be such thing. So use yourself. You can read another sentence. Okay.
In which case, rend the egotism in your soul and show him.
Well, very simple now. Do you understand this sentence? Does anybody have any problem with the sentence? Can you please read that?
Yeah. You want me to read it again?
Yeah, the same sentence.
In which case, rend the egotism in your soul and show him.
So, rend means tear it off. Yeah, it means realize that egotism represents what? Let's first pick up, understand this one. Egotism what? So attributing the existence of something to yourself. Egotism is this. For example, attributing the quality of this computer to its own parts. Attributing the quality of the plant to its own particles. This is the particles are doing it. Egotism, self-centric. But egotism in the social sense, selfishness. No, it is theological. Right? Rend, tear it off the egotism means be aware that you can be aware that any human qualities you have cannot be attributed to yourself or anything belongs to you. Everything belongs to you is given to you. You understand. You can say, did you create your name? So do you understand? They are not yours. You see? Did you create your feelings? You found them. You are using them. This way or another way, you are developing, but the capacity to develop is not yours. Do you understand? For example, when you go to the school for education, you learn something. You think that you are developing it. No, it is already there. Like the seed is growing into a tree. The potentiality is there. They are giving the potentiality. What you do, you are only using it. You get it? So you cannot attribute anything in your existence to yourself as to be the source of existence of that thing. Get it? Yeah. Okay. Another person can put this in another language. Just reiterate, maybe repeat. Anyone?
I'd like maybe use the example of the brownie.
Yeah.
So the brownie has all these amazing qualities, gooey, chocolatey, sweet, but the brownie itself is not sweet. There's so Brownie can be speaking and can be like, ah, yes, I am the one who source of these amazing qualities, including this sweetness. So you can use that analogy for yourself. So if you have these feelings, if you have these qualities in you, you have nothing to do with its creation.
With,
It's creation.
yeah, existence,
It's existence.
giving existence to it. You are using it. Very simple. So if you realize that your senses cannot be attributed to you, can you deny that? Because it cannot be attributed to you or to your cells or to your particles, that the particles are creating your feelings, giving existence to them. What is remained? What is remained? They are there, but you cannot attribute it to anything here, to themselves. But if you are not the creator of your own feelings, do you think the plants you are eating, the vegetables and fruits you are eating, are creating them, giving existence to them? Are they? Do they have any knowledge, any will, any wisdom, any power to make your feelings, your human qualities, your intelligence?
So, entirely, like, to put it from my perspective here, say that I have an egoistic tendency towards my own qualities, like I'm a really smart guy, and I was able to get this really great job and make a lot of money, or I dress well, I like to look well, I'm very elegant. If I look at myself this way, then I love myself.
Yeah.
But then I fail to see the source of those feelings, which is, why do I want to look good? Why do I want to be beautiful? How did it come to be that I can think and that I can intelligently make decisions and my brain works on its own and I don't have to think of learning, it just comes natural to me. And so if I look beyond me and look at why I like these things, then I will be able to, I guess this is the show him part, which is, then I will be able to see that there is a source for these feelings beyond myself.
Now, it means you can comfortably conclude that the source of your feelings first is not you and nothing of this universe. Everything is like you. They all need to be given existence. So, rain, tear off your egotism in your soul, show him with capital A. It means there must be a creator who created it. It's there. Yeah. For example, go back to our simple art example. It's a piece of art here. You say, oh, it's wonderful, it's fantastic, but I would like to have it and I want to see it, it's enjoyable, all right. You haven't seen the artist is making it, right? So what you do, you put the piece of art on the wall, you look at it. You cannot attribute the art quality to any piece in the art. What is the logical conflict? It is made by a one who has the quality of this art. It's very simple. Do you have to see the person? No. Do you have to see the person doing it? No. It's very human. We are made in such a beautiful way that we don't have to see the creators making the universe. No. In fact, there is no need to look for it. I give this example. It's a very challenging example. Even God shows himself to be even. God says, hey, this is me, I made this one. I said, I don't know. Yeah. If a person comes to your home and says, hi, I am the artist of this art that you loved it. I don't know. But I am absolutely sure, beyond any doubt, that this art is an artist. That's the point. You don't have to see that this man is the artist. Even you know the man, even if the man who comes and tells you that he is the artist of this art, he made that. He may be a truthful man. You don't have to doubt about it, but it is worthless. It is worthless. It's none of your business. Person A or person B is the artist of this art. None of your business. My responsibility is, my capacity is to be honest within myself. My own human quality definitely ascertains that this art has an artist. Very simple. The piece of art cannot make itself. Tear of the egotism, attributing the source of existence to the thing itself. Do you get it? Egotism is means to think itself. That is in the revelation, language of revelation, I can make sure of it by seeing. And using my human intelligence, comfortably concluding that this piece of art is an artist. It is also within my capacity. I can sure use it. There is no need to contradict myself, saying that, I don't know, maybe the pieces of this art might have developed in the course of time by itself, by themselves, made this art, I don't know, millions of years. Who swallows it? Who can believe it? Can you say, for example, there is something depending on? You say the globe of Earth is. If anybody comes and tells you, this is not done by a conscious being. It developed itself as a result of billions of years of evolvement. What would you say? Would you believe? It's so simple. Because the elements of this thing cannot have any source that it will shape that, and there is no accidental happening in the world. There is no accidental happening in the world. Everything is perfectly within order. So how can I say that the accidental might have happened by itself? It is just an hypothesis which has no logical base, as far as my experience is concerned. So very simple, very tweet, human, you can easily show the creator within your own or through your own senses. If only you have to go through rending the egotism.
I have a question. The last part where you said, show the creator through your existence, or in what did you say, in your existence?
No. If I said this sentence, it would be wrong, and I don't remember saying it. I'm not saying no, because I might have, but see and understand the creator through your own existence. That's our methodology. It's very simple.
Is that what the author of this particular line means when they say show him?
Yeah. It means to show it to yourself. It means you will realize it.
Okay.
Now, it means, for example, you can show it as well. How? After seeing that, the example you were giving, I think you or somebody, giving the example that I have ability to learn. Now, First, you have to realize that it doesn't belong to you. And you can show it as well in your relationship, in your own being to the others. If someone comes and tells you that, look, Qasim, you are very good in learning, Now, you say, no, it's not me. I am being taught. You can show. It doesn't belong to me. Express it. Now, in this context, the prophets teach us how to develop ourselves, plus how to demonstrate it, so that you will fulfill your duty. That is my conclusion, and tell others also, hey, you can come to this conclusion as well, but wake up. Yeah? Get out of the swamp of your culture. Whatever the culture, get out of it. Be yourself. Right? You can show it without claiming any title, saying that I am such and such. I give a religious title. No, be yourself. It is the essence of really what we are trying to establish here in this class. Yep.
Perhaps I heard it wrong. You said to attribute our feelings to the universe.
Sorry?
You said, perhaps I might have been misinterpreted. But you said that we should attribute our feelings to the universe.
We should. No, I didn't say that. No, I never said that. This is methodologically wrong.
I attribute the fact that I can feel to the universe, to create. The fact that I have the capacity to feel. But my feelings themselves, I am responsible for. Through my own perception, whether working from misconceptions, prejudices, preconceived notions. But the feelings that I am experiencing are, as I bring it back, as you're saying, we have to start with ourselves to a certain degree to be able to be a permeation by into the universe. Well,
We are free. We have free will, and we have to choose.
so
And we have to decide.
what we're experiencing, our feelings that we're experiencing, I assert that that's our responsibility. What we're feeling. The fact that we can feel, okay, it's a gift. That we have emotions, and we have the capacity to love, to hate, whatever one chooses. What I do with that capacity is on me. The creator doesn't create my experience.
No, we are not at this stage. Excuse me.
Oh, so
We are
sorry.
establishing. No, you are just jumping very, very far away. So that what to say, jumping the gun or something. So far away. No, we are here. First, we have our feelings. We have to realize that we have them and stop questioning it. And through our feelings, we have to come to the conclusions that these feelings do not belong to me and to nothing else in this universe. It has a source of existence, the creator, they have the creator, not of the nature of this universe. That is our conclusion. That's it. Now, whether we choose this way or we turn blind to this. We turn blind to this is the language of the Quran. It's a very, very important language. The Quran says, if I can memorize it, وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ I think
What's
نيقظ شيطانا نيقظ له شيطانا فهو له قرين. It means if someone search it is in Zukhruf or Zukhruf. ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض I think نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. If someone turns blind mentioning mentioning Rahman, it means the creator who created everything with mercy, right? If you don't see it, if you don't choose to use it, to choose to see what is the source of existence of yourself, turn blind to it. If you choose not to go through this process, did you find?
No,
Hi, نقيض. Yeah. نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. It means if you don't choose to think, what is the source of existence of beautiful piece of art? What is the source of existence? This me, which is billions times more beautiful piece of art than the one hanging on the wall. Me, if I don't question that, you may be religious person, doesn't matter. You will be assigned as Satan. Satan represents in the Quran what? Any idea which is false, which has no reality. Alternative, for example, lie, truth and lie, light and darkness, shadow, and existence and non-existence. Non-existence doesn't exist. Light doesn't exist. Shadow doesn't have an external existence. Only non-existence is the existence. We imagine an alternative. Non-existence. This is Satan. And darkness, if you give it an external existence to darkness, it has no external existence. It's false. So this alternative, we نقيض له شيطانا. We assign a false reason for this guy, and he's always with it. He starts developing his ideas, interpretations, his religiosity, including according to this Satan. Do you understand? No. If you don't attribute, you said beautiful, excellent. If you don't think about the source of existence of your feelings, what do? You start saying that I'm a bright, smart guy. I'm learning. I have worked hard. Attributing to yourself. Why? It's false. You are given. You are just using the already given potentiality in you. With the Karim Shaitan attributes always to a false. And it is with you. Karim means you are always next to you, with you. What is the solution now? The solution is not saying that, no, I don't want Satan. No. Go back to the beginning. Question the existence of everything. And then find out what the source of existence of that thing can be. Yeah? And see the wisdom in its existence. And then you will have no Satan. All the problems come from the lack of our not questioning the first step. We say, I'm a Muslim. And Islam is a good religion. But this doesn't make sense. I don't agree with this. I don't know how You see what I mean? All the problems, I'm a Christian, this kind of thing. I'm a Christian, but I don't really understand Trinity. Yeah. Not because Trinity doesn't make sense to you. You didn't start from the beginning. You just said, I'm a Christian. What does it mean? I'm a Muslim. What does it mean? Just without mentioning the source of existence of your own being or the qualities that you have, and mentioning or coming to the conclusion that they are given to me by a compassionate, merciful creator on purpose, then there is no Satan for you. It means we have to respect. We are taking notes of the environment. We are under the influence of Shiva. Sorry?
Without coming to the conclusion that everything is given to me by a merciful creator.
Yeah. So we cannot be that perfect at once. Yeah. It is understandable. And also, none of the sources, scriptures, religious sources, expect us to be perfect. But they show us how to reach perfection in a particular subject. What are you doing now? Think about it, about this subject. And the next day, you will do another one. You will do another one. There is no reaching point, coming to the end of perfection. Because human beings are created with endless capacity, countless qualities. We cannot really deal all of them at once, and it is understandable. It's understandable. Even the Prophet's suggestion is this: says, don't try to be perfect. Start from the beginning. A, B, C, D, and carry on. But don't be disappointed. For example, start today, questioning one point. One point. You are not going to solve all your problems at once. Impossible. One point. Then develop. It's a way of education. It will never ending education. It's very assuring if you go this way. So when I read this verse, I was so shocked. You know, why we do all this kind of mistakes and lazy choices, etc. From the beginning, we turned blind to remembering the creator of that particular subject. We didn't question it, it means. We didn't remind ourselves. So if you say, I am rich and I am good or I am bad, whatever you are attributing to yourself, first, have you ever thought about where it came from? It's very simple. First, establish this. Rend the egotism in your own soul, and then the Creator will come out. But first, you shouldn't turn blind. Your reality. It's very simple.
Could the word be maintain humility?
Sorry?
Could the word be maintain humility?
Humility? Well, think about it in your own existence.
It's all about you and it revolves around you.
First,
When you have humility,
I don't know.
It's not on me.
We have to
It's going be
question.
blessed. It's
We
great.
have to question. Humility is a result. It means we cannot say that humility is best because I have to be a humble person. First, we have to question what is humility. So we have to question if you think that being humble is better. You have to say, where is it coming from? From starting from there. If you conclude that it is given to me a sense, which represents reality for me. So I have to choose that. But it's a conclusion. But we are, I think, we are always missing this point. We are establishing the foundations of our own reality rather than borrowing any external concepts into our belief system. For example, people say humility is good. I don't know. What is humility? What? I don't know. But I have to question its existence. If I confirm it, then I may choose it. Oh, but you can say, yeah, you better choose this way. But this kind of languages, borrowed languages, for example, have a strong faith, brother or sister. Be humble. Why? Why should I be humble? The culture says you have to develop your self-confidence. Now, you have to be leader. You have to be leader. You shouldn't be led by others. That is the culture. Some culture says humility is better. I don't know. I have to question everything. So there is no borrowed language. Bismillah ar-Rahman. I think we have to stop here. Good that we studied 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah? But do you think these sentences are very powerful? So that there's very, very, very strong, loaded background.
Yeah.
But it's not simple thing. Especially training ourselves through the teachings. I think the text is an excuse, but the subject is our own object. We have to have this purpose. Please help yourself with it. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.